So you're looking at the Y-key skeleton in Andahuaylilas, estimated at being, or carbon dated at being 900 years old. And we have a gentleman with us. Could you tell us who you are and
Hi.
what your profession is?
My name's Lee Smith. I'm a physician. I'm an emergency physician by trade, so pediatrics is not my specialty. But I am looking at a skull, and it appears to, by the size, to be that of a child. The first thing that catches your eye is on the top is the sort of diamond shaped, if you will, what would be called the anterior fontanelle. We're all born with, but typically closes. The soft spot is, lay people sometimes describe it. It's one in the back, and there's usually some on the side, but they're real small. But by 18 months, that should be closed, so it's very suspicious that that's open. So that would lead you down the path of saying that, it's a pediatric thing, plus the size of the skull looks to be that of a child. But then as you look at the teeth, those are certainly well developed. You'd have to actually count. There are 20 teeth in the pediatric population and 32 supposed to be in the adult population. So these would be the deciduous teeth, but you get the two incisors, the lateral incisors and the canines. So this would be like a premolar up and down. And it's not clear because I don't see any eruptions from down below that would lead you to believe that there's something else coming on. So it's very it's odd. I mean, I don't know that this could be easily put together as some kind of ruse, but it's certainly a confusing picture. And then on your side over here, I'm assuming that this is sort of an adult skull here,
Right.
But if you look right above the ridge here, just posterior to the eye, there's a little prominence of the bone here that we call the temporal ridge, where all the muscles attached to. And on the younger child, there's a deficit in there, like the bone has been not quite right. It's not present on this side, and I can't say if that's traumatic or what. But then you look at the ribs, and those are well developed. And a child's rib cage is much more compliant than an adult's. So that leads you to think that it's an older, because of the calcium in there too. So it's, what I'm seeing is confusing picture.
Well, one thing is they have actually x-rayed the head, and they found no presence of secondary teeth coming out.
Okay.
Should that be present even in a very young human?
No. I mean, they're called deciduous teeth or milk teeth because they fall off just like the leaves of a tree, and they start they erupt start around 6 months, and then they all get pushed out secondarily by the permanent teeth, if you will. But they can last up until you're 12 years old before your permanent teeth come in. But if this were an adult and those are permanent teeth, that's a very odd-looking adult with some very pediatric features.
So
Certainly very strange.
well, could you in any way estimate how old this person would be at the time of death?
Not me. I can't. I wouldn't even venture a guess. It wouldn't even be anything other than that. Just a wild-ass guess.
And are there any medical conditions that you can think of that would cause this head to be this shape?
No.
Well, finally, are we, in your mind, are we looking at a Homo sapiens sapiens?
Good question. I cannot tell you the answer to that. I hope. But even the femur, I mean the radius in the arm there is well developed, as is the ulna and the radius there, and the it certainly has a lot of things that make it look like an older, some of the bony structure appear to be adult-like. Let's say it that way.
I don't know. And we also have an American nurse with us, and we would like her to give her, if she wants to, she can tell us who she is and just give us her observations as to what she's looking at.
Hi, I'm Noelle Evers, and I'm really struck by the narrowness of the eyeball sockets, which is actually, seeing the narrowness of the jaw, it's kind of the pointiness of it. That seems out of place to me. I don't understand it, and I don't have any kind of expertise with pediatrics, but certainly the teeth just look almost like somebody placed them in there. It doesn't look like it even belongs to that skull, but I trust that that is as it was found. So it just seems very strange to me, and I can't really comment on the ribs as were commented on earlier as being well formed or not. I'm not a pediatric nurse, but it's the face more than anything, the narrowness of the eyeball sockets, continuing on down to the pointiness of the chin and those large teeth that just, to me, are the most striking features that are so anomalous.
Yeah. Well, I've seen it from within a foot because I've seen it outside the glass case. So one thing I definitely looked at were the teeth, and he would have to have had exceptionally good carving tools of some kind to be able to shove those teeth in, because from my observation, as amateur as it is, the contours of the sockets and the contour of the teeth themselves match like very well, with no evidence of there being any cutting into the sockets in order to get those teeth to fit.
Right. Yeah, you would destroy the actual piece, just trying to fit something like that in, and that wouldn't make sense. I trust that those are as it was found.
So in your estimation, are we looking at Homo sapiens sapiens here?
That is not any kind. No, I can't. That's something I really don't have any understanding of, because it's not anything that I'm familiar with.
Right.
I mean, the skull over here on the right, I think, is given as an example of a normal skull. It's an adult,
right,
presumably, but the difference is it's striking. I don't understand what I'm looking at. It's like I say, quite anomalous, and I don't. It has me scratching my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's more or less the opinion of any medical professional who has looked at it.
Yeah, it's quite extraordinary.
Thank you.